In this video we're going to show you how to remove and replace the vacuum pump and repair the oil seals on it on a 2 litre FSI engine and TFSI engine used across the whole VW Audi range. The tools you'll need to remove the vacuum pump are a flat screwdriver and a T30 Torx, and then to clean up and refurbish and do the seals on the vacuum pump you're going to need a small blade or pick, another flat screwdriver, T25 Torx and some brake cleaner. First step is to remove the engine cover. Using your flat screwdriver, pop off the 2 clips that are holding on the turbo intake pipe, and also the plug for the MAF sensor. Get your flat screwdriver in, just turn it and the plug will pull towards you. The gearbox itself is pushed on onto 4 push fit rubber grommets. Just got to give them a rag and they'll come on. There's 3 bolts holding the vacuum pump in place. One there at the top, another one at the top, and one underneath at the bottom. To get to the one underneath at the bottom, use your flat screwdriver and you have to remove this cable from the guide first. Just push it in the top and just part the little guide apart and it'll come out, and you can just move the wire out the way. You'll need to move it a bit just to get access to the bottom. Just before you undo the bolts for the vacuum pump, this front vacuum pipe here just pushes on. Just give that a pull, that'll come off towards you and separate. Now undo the 3 T30s that hold the vacuum pump in place. When the 3 bolts are removed, just grab the vacuum pump, just give it a wiggle, it'll start to part and come away from the engine. Some oil will spill out, and that's the vacuum pump removed. Now the pump's off the car, first thing we want to do is dismantle it into its components and give it a clean up. So first thing to undo is this connection here. There's a rubber cap that slides off. Then using 2 flat screwdrivers, one in each side, there's a small tab you can push in on and just pry it up and pull it out. There's one of the seals. Next we can undo the 5 T25 screws that are holding the end cap on. Now the end cap will come off, and that's inside the pump. There will still be some oil in it, but from there you can just pull the bar out in the middle and also the centre bit, and that's it dismantled into its components. So now we're going to use some brake cleaner and give it all a clean up. Just before we clean it up, we're going to remove the 3 seals that are going to be replacing. So we've just got a small blade here, you can just get down the side of the seal and lift it out. That's the main one. And there's one on the other side of that, which is where this pump was leaking from. Again, doesn't matter if you wreck the old seal. There's that one, and then there's one on the vacuum hose connection. There, that one. Now we can give it a good clean up with some brake cleaner before we put it back together. So now it's been given a clean up, make sure you get rid of any residue where the old seals have been, so everything's flat and clean and smooth. We're going to build it back up, and for this you just need a little bit of engine oil just to lubricate it on the mating surfaces where it goes back together. So first one, you want to get this main housing there, the bit that slides inside it, you can see where it needs to be lubricated where it sits inside. Bit of engine oil on there, clean engine oil, and slide that back in. You also want to put in there the bar that goes across, and the two little tips on each end. First seal that we want to fit is this large one there. Just push that into the gap. Make sure it's seated, pushed in all the way around, and we can put the cover back on. Make sure when they're all in, they're all nipped up nice and tight. Next seal to fit is this one. It goes around that surface there where it meets the engine. Again, using a little bit of engine oil, just spread that on the seal to help it go on. And just slide that over. Make sure it's seated correctly. Now the last one to fit, this seal around the vacuum hose connector. Again, a little bit of engine oil around there and on the seal. Slide that on. And when you're putting it on, also put a bit of lube inside there, just help to guide it on. Also, the little rubber grommet, don't forget that. Now it's ready to fit back onto the vehicle. When fitting the pump back to the engine, put a bit more oil just around the seal and also inside where it's going to seat, just to help it go on. Now this little notch there has to line up in the cam there with the peg on the vacuum pump, so you know that the hose is roughly in about this position. So get the notch lined up. You can always twist the pump afterwards. Just guide it in. It won't go on if the notch isn't lined up, so if it goes all the way on, then you know you've got it right. That's it. Line the holes up. Now the screws are ready to fit. So we've fitted and retightened the 3 Torx bolts that are holding the pump to the engine. Don't forget to put on that hose there, the vacuum hose, that just pushes on. And to refit the engine cover. Refit the map sensor plug. And also the turbo intake pipe on the side. And that's it, job done.